Hello, hello. This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, bringing you another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. Full-time dad, part-time player of Jank. Opponent's mulliganing. All right, so we are playing Waste Not Mono Black Taxes. Third match. Mistakes have been made per usual. Can't play a new deck without making some mistakes, right? No, I mean I met this really nice guy last game. We were talking, and I definitely was not paying full attention. So we're gonna Waste Not, then Thoughtseize. That's our plan. Couple removal spells. My Scornful Striker. I suppose if we are up against Storm, we'll just run out the My Scornful Striker. The deck, I love Waste Not. I think I'm gonna end up playing this deck until I get the Waste Not Dark Deal combo, but it probably won't even be that good once I get there. Arena of Glory from our opponent. This could be the Just guy. So I feel like the Waste Not build with Dark Deal is going to be really good, well positioned against Jeskai Blink in the sense that they just draw so many cards. That's all bad. All of that is bad. Take the Ragavan. Cast that. Alright, well, we're up against a creature deck. With maybe they'll miss their lands. We can March of Wretched Sorrow, this Ocelot Pride. We'd love to draw into a Dark Deal at this point. They drew another Ragavan. Oh, nice. Which one's worse? They're going to Galvanic Discharge something. This card is going to take over the game, unfortunately, so I think we're going to have to get rid of that. But we can run out this My Scornful Striker. And that's going to give them a better target for their Galvanic Discharge, but also give us assure us a way of blocking this Ragavan unless they draw another kill spell. It's plain energy, good old-fashioned energy. I feel like that, we have the removal spells for this deck. We're at the point where we really just need to find one of our big finishers, like Dark Deal. I keep saying it every single game. I say Dark Deal, Dark Deal, Dark Deal. Flage is looking terrible. We don't want to see a Flage, but we don't play any ley lines. We do play a little bit of Graveyard Hate, so Crypt Incursion in the sideboard. Not as good as Leyline against the graveyard decks, but it hopefully will be decent. Oh, they're just hitting all their big creatures. So Toxic Deluge will be good against them. Dark Deal would be great. I don't even know what we want to do. Guess we Waste Not again. They could have Arena of Glory the Flage last turn. I don't think they want to do that. I think they wanted to set up the God of Souls for some reason. No, they couldn't have done the Reno Glory last turn. They needed another red. Alright, so they're going to get rid of that. Take their 2. Alright, deck. This is where we're at. We have 2 Waste Knots. This is the moment. This is the moment. They're probably gonna hit a Dark Deal off with this Ragavan hit. I can feel it. Stealthy. That would have been nice. Dark Deal, baby. We wouldn't even get that many cards out of it. Martyr Wretched Sorrow. 1, 2, 3. Draw a card. R. Martyr Wretched Sorrow. Which one do we Martyr Wretched Sorrow? So the thing about Waste Not in this deck, in this current build of the deck, is I definitely have only 4 discard. I mean, I have 4 Thought Seizes, 4 Dark Deals. So with Waste Not, and only 4 Waste Knots. So I mean, if we draw the Waste Knots and not find our removals or our discard spells, then it is kind of bad. I did it for 4. Go back up to 16. They're really holding on to this Flage. Oh, it's a Dark Deal. Yes. This is the moment. This is the moment. Ha ha ha! Two zombies and a Fatal Push and a land. But now they got their Flage. I don't think Dark Deals is good against Energy because they have such a great way of just dumping their cards. Alright, so they're going to get the Flage back. We're really hoping they kill one of our zombies. Alright, but they're still very close to just recasting it. Shielder's nice. Would have been nice to have had it during the Dark Deal. Alright, they need another land and another card in the graveyard before they can Shieldred. Or before they can Flage. Sorry, we are Shieldreding. Shieldreding. That's their other land, which they can then immediately put into the graveyard if they want. 3/4 flyer coming our way. Let's just always yield, please. Oh my goodness. What's their next play? What's their next? That was a good draw for us. Except that they are drawing into a land. Alright, March of Wretched Sorrow. I feel like they're going to end up getting the Flage back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I mean, we're fighting the good fight here, as I like to say. Getting them down to 11. They're going to gain some life if they can make this happen. Ocelot Pride. Get some energy. Gain some life. Make some cats. Put us down to 4. What do we find? So Flage is coming back with this fetch land. We can, and we're dying to all of this. So we can go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do 5 damage. Go to 11. Yeah, the Flage is a problem. It's been a problem. We don't want to have. They've drawn really well. Look at the Ocelot Pride. I mean, this deck is beautiful when it synergizes the way it does. Just they drew 2 Guided Souls. We thought seized them, by the way, and they had a land. If that had just been anything else, we'd be in a very different spot. As is, they've drawn 2 Goddess Souls, another Ocelot Pride, and had this Flage just waiting in the wings this entire game. 2 Ragavans. They drew a Ragavan after we killed it and thought seized them. We pretty much have one more turn at it, and even then we kind of need our other March of Wretched Sorrow, which I think all 3 of them are in the graveyard now. So I don't know what we could use to get out of this. Yeah, got it. In fact, I think they can just kill us now. They can just put more counters on it. Yep. And then we die. Alright, energy. Well done. What can we bring in against energy? We weren't going to get anything good. Alright, so we have Crypt Incursion, Toxic Deluge. Force of Despairs. I think that's going to be our best. And honestly, I really hate it, but I think this is the matchup we have to take out Waste Nots. I think we take out the My Scornful Striker, take out the Phyrexian Arena. Maybe we can not get rid of all the Waste Nots. Can we just do a 64 card special? Alright, this seems like it's just not a very efficient kill spell. Alright, well, we got our dream, sort of. We only got to make them discard 2 cards. Oh, God. We have the Waste Knot, we have the Thoughtseize. Let's keep it. We have a Fatal Push. I mean, we have a lot of what we need. We need to find lands. And we need to find... Should we Thoughtseize? Or do we want to wait for the Waste Knot? I think we're going to wait and Fatal Push their first threat. We're also playing to this Force of Despair, which ain't bad. Land Darty would be sweet. Okay, that's good. Alright, shields are down. However, if they go off this turn, we can Force a Despair pitching where the Toxic Deluge. And we want to save the Thoughtseize. We just want to draw cards, to be honest. Another land. Not really ideal. They have a protection spell. Alright, Thraben Charm. That's too bad. Well, we need some help, folks. We need some help. We really wanted that. We really wanted that Waste Knot. Okay, Bowmasters is not bad. Making our land drops. Entering the board. They have responses to things. Okay. Alright. Again, fighting the fight. We're out of cards. We know what there's in their hand. Man, they just top decked a Johnny. And how do they have 3 cards in hand? I thought they had 2 drawing into 3. Cabal covers. We've been drawing again. Energy though is such a powerful deck full of must-answer threats. Like here's another threat that has to be answered. We need to find something that's not a land. That's what we need to find. So we've managed to. They had one sideboard card against us, and they bring in a Ragavan. Yeah, I mean this game's over probably. We managed to answer one of their threats. They'll probably find something good off of our deck too. Thoughtseize. All right, that's not so good. But we just can't find anything to. So we. Let me try to rephrase this. We managed to find um, ways that interact with what's in their hand. But we have not been able to follow that up with any sort of pressure. We pitched our Orcish Bowmasters, which is not the best pressure to be fair. But we pitched that in order to get rid of the Ajani. They found another voice of victory, and I think this is probably very much close to lethal. Man, what a draw. What a draws from our opponent. They have just hit fire. They have hit fire. How do they have haste? Oh, yeah, they already have glory. What? Double red, yeah. All right, well, good games, opponent. Good games. You know, you managed to draw really well. You've stumbled on land and found all kinds of. I guess. All right, well, for cyclesgaming.com, sometimes that happens. This is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all on the next one.